Saturday morning, I'm meteorologist Nicole Hartford as we track incoming winter weather. Thank you for joining us on 11 Alive Plus for these updates on the possibility of icy conditions as this weekend evolves. We are tracking that weekend winter storm. So we've got a weather impact alert beginning today through Sunday and even into Monday as our cold air arrives and our rain transitions into some freezing rain. So it does look like ice accumulation is a likely scenario over the course of the next couple of days. So really Saturday through Monday, that's when our impact is going to be the highest. We'll be tracking this freezing rain. So what do you need to do? Just plan for impacts, especially to travel. We will likely see power outages. Some areas of the state may be a little bit more impacted than others. But my best advice at this point is to get wherever you need to be throughout the weekend within the next few hours, and then just plan to stay there as we go throughout the weekend. This is a major winter storm across the continental U.S. We've got a number of winter weather watches as well as advisories, and in our neck of the woods, some ice storm warnings that kick in later today. Right now, that winter storm is starting to bring additional snowfall and ice across Texas, Oklahoma, into portions of Arkansas, and it's even pushing as far east as Mississippi and Alabama. Now, most of this at this point is kind of a mix of rain down towards the south to freezing rain to sleet and to snow. We are showing a little bit in North Georgia when it comes to rain and freezing rain, but I want to say that at this point the atmosphere is really dry. So the air below these clouds, very dry. So even though we're picking up some of this on radar, I'm doubtful at this point that anything showing up on the radar is actually reaching the ground. Another important note here is that temperatures are still vastly above freezing. There are some spots up into far north Georgia, Blairsville, Dalton, that are sitting at 33 degrees. But if anything were to be falling at this point, and I don't think it is, it would be coming down as rainfall, not any type of wintry precipitation yet. Now, today is going to be one of those days where temperatures drop as we get into this afternoon. So where we're at right now is likely kind of the warmest it's going to be at any point today. So conditions will start to deteriorate more as we get into this afternoon and evening, and especially overnight tonight. Things will start out kind of slow. So a little bit of a wintry mix will develop throughout the day today. While we could start to see some untreated roads turn slick by this afternoon or evening, our temperatures are really going to help us out. So because our air temperatures right now are in the upper 30s and low 40s in a lot of locations, it's going to take some time for the ground to start freezing. By tonight, I think we'll start to see more impacts. Accumulation will start to intensify. That snow, freezing rain mixture is going to become more widespread into tonight and tomorrow morning. Temperatures will also drop down into the 20s. So tonight is when I think things really take a turn. We'll likely watch as roads turn slick and icy, and we'll deal with that possibility into Sunday as well. Now, winter weather is going to continue into Sunday, but in some spots, especially through the metro and down towards the southwest of the city, we may actually get a little bit of a warm up tomorrow, which will help us transition back from some freezing rain to areas of just rainfall. So we're going to be watching those temperatures really closely. In situations like this, even a couple degree difference can have big impacts on the type of precipitation we see. In some spots, though, especially northeast of the metro, we will likely continue to see accumulating freezing rain, which not only is going to worsen roadways, but will also start to lead to power outages. So our power outage threat is going to start going up by Sunday morning and then into Sunday afternoon. So overall impacts are very high across the state. Again, I think we'll start to see most of that tonight and into tomorrow morning. So you still have a little bit of time left to prepare. Now, we do have an ice storm warning in effect across a good chunk of North Georgia that does include Metro Atlanta. So these spots in the ice storm warning, that's where we're anticipating significant ice accumulation. Down towards the south of that, we also have a winter weather advisory that will be in effect. Again, these go through Monday morning. In this spots highlighted by the winter weather advisory, some accumulating ice is still possible, but it won't be quite as impactful as those locations in the ice storm warning. This is just one forecast model, but I want to show you the potential for ice accumulation. We're talking likely anywhere from 1/10 of an inch up to about 1/2 inch for the bulk of North Georgia, and then up towards the northeast, that's where I think ice accumulation could be way worse in many spots. We're talking a half inch up to maybe an inch of ice accumulation. So those areas up towards the northeast, that's where we are anticipating major impacts from this ice accumulation, not only to roads, of course, but also when it comes to trees snapping, power lines coming down because of the weight of that ice. So in these locations highlighted by the major impacts, where we could see anywhere from a half inch of ice up to maybe even a full inch of ice in some spots, that's where we could be going longer periods of time with power outages should those occur. The further down towards the southwest you go, the less impactful the ice is going to be. But a good reminder that it doesn't take all that much ice to start seeing impacts across the state. By a 1/10 of an inch of ice, that leads to a light glaze on roads and sidewalks, slick bridges, coated windshields, and even isolated power outages. By the time you get to a 1/4 inch of ice, we see icy roads, tree limbs start to sag and break, and that number of power outages goes up. By about a half inch, that's when things start to become a little bit more catastrophic, with dangerous and if not impossible travel on roads, widespread tree damage, and long-term power outages. So we're going to be watching this very closely. The exact number of ice accumulation could change depending on how the day evolves. And as I said, temperatures are going to play a big impact in how the next 48 hours play out. As far as it goes throughout the next few hours, I think as the air continues to saturate, as the atmosphere becomes a little less dry, those little showers that we're seeing on the radar, they will actually start to reach the ground. This is by 9 o'clock. Things are starting to get perhaps a little bit wetter up into far north Georgia, but notice at this point, our temperatures are still for the most part above freezing. And that'll be the case across a good chunk of North Georgia, through the I-20 corridor and south, especially through the vast majority of the day today. In fact, I think for the Atlanta metro, we'll probably stay above freezing until at least sunset tonight. Showers will be kind of hit and miss throughout the daytime hours. It's not until later this evening that things start to pick up. And in a lot of spots, this will start as just a light rainfall, not freezing rain, just normal cold rainfall. This is not great because not only does it put more moisture on the ground to freeze when temperatures do drop, but when we get this rainfall, it kind of dilutes that brine mixture that GDOT is currently out putting down, and they will be out working hard again throughout the day today and into tonight and tomorrow to make sure that even when the rain dilutes it, they still have plenty to help make our roads as best as they can be in this situation. Our forecast track again brings more in the way of shower coverage into tonight and tomorrow. As we go into the overnight, that's when temperatures will start to quickly drop. So our scenario changes very quickly from just a light cold rainfall to freezing rain for much of the state by about midnight, and that will be prolonged periods of freezing rainfall after sunset tonight through tomorrow morning. By 9 a.m. tomorrow, a lot of spots are still picking up on freezing rain, including metro Atlanta. As we go into the day tomorrow, I do think temperatures will start to warm up a little bit. I say warm, but we're talking the difference between, instead of being at 30 degrees, we'll jump up to 34 or 35 degrees. While that may seem like a small change, it's going to have really good implications for our forecast, because in a lot of spots, it will transition that freezing rain and the ice accumulation back to just a cold rainfall throughout the day on Sunday. Notice, though, some spots up towards the northeast of the city where I said ice accumulation will be higher, stay as freezing rainfall for the duration of this event. Temperatures, again, will warm up a little bit into Sunday, leading to that rainfall. It depends on how much ice accumulation we end up seeing, but this is a good scenario for us because it will help to melt away some of the accumulating ice. It may not completely get rid of it, but it will help to get rid of some of it. What will happen, though, is our roads and just overall everywhere is going to be pretty wet going into Sunday night as our truly cold air comes in. So temperatures today and tomorrow are still in the 30s, but as we go into Monday and Tuesday, really cold air comes in. So overnight by Monday night, we'll get down into the 20s. So anything that's left over from the showers on Sunday will have the opportunity to refreeze into early Monday morning. So if you're kind of sitting in your house Sunday afternoon and you notice things don't look that bad, we could have refreezing into Monday morning, and that's when we start seeing black ice. So you will still want to be very cautious even into Monday. And for some spots outside of the metro, temperatures will not get back above freezing until at least Tuesday night. So especially northeast of the city where the higher ice accumulation totals are expected, not only will things stay frozen, but roads will likely remain impassable in some locations. And if you do have power outages, it will be very hard for crews to get to them and resolve them until at least Tuesday afternoon. So that colder air comes in Monday and into Tuesday. Again, if you do have to be out, if you do still have last minute preparations to do, now's the time to do it. The next couple hours, things will start to deteriorate pretty quickly as we get into Saturday this afternoon and overnight tonight. We'll continue to bring these updates to you here on 11 Alive Plus every half hour. You can also join us live. I'll be with meteorologist Chesley McNeil on 11 Alive beginning at 8:30.